go, champ. It's the champ, Shannon the Cannon Briggs, and you're watching True School Sports. Let's go, champ.
Well, it's personal between me and you, and I'm going to do you some serious harm, you big stiff idiot.
The untouchable True School Sports Empire proudly presents something the boxing games are missing. Hey, what's going on? It's your boy BT, and I came here to talk some boxing with the thousands of True School Sports subscribers. Now, Eddie Hearn recently was on the DAZN boxing show, and he was speaking about a lot of his fighters that are signed that he works with. One of which is a personal favorite here on True School Sports, and a guy that, you know, if I ever have an excuse to make a video about him, I will take it. And that is none other than El Animal himself, the now IBF mandatory challenger and the former bronze medalist Olympian, Filip Hrgovic, Croatia's very own Filip Hrgovic. You know, he's come out that fight with Zhang Zhilei, a fight in which, you know, he didn't really perform the way we would have hoped for. He didn't deliver that like sensational knockout victory that we would have hoped for on a stage like that. Zhang Zhilei also happened to be the most determined version of himself and really came to fight that night, and a lot of people thought he won the fight, which I'm not mad at because it was a super close fight. I went back and I watched the fight, and I thought Hrgovic just won it by a point. Zhang Zhilei gave the last 3 rounds away. All he needed to do was win one of those rounds. He didn't win it, so it's unfortunate, but it's how the cookie crumbles. So now he is the IBF mandatory, and Eddie Hearn was speaking about how this could potentially be a good thing for Filip Hrgovic, and I kind of wanted to talk about that. So let's get into the quotes. He said the following, and I quote, "I don't think Hrgovic boxed that great. Unfortunately, his father passed away recently. I don't know if that affected him in his camp, but Zhang is underrated. He's a good fighter. He's huge. He's a huge guy. He was at 126 kilos going into that fight. I do rate Hrgovic. I think he's an outstanding fighter, and you know, as our co-promoters, Nisi and Cal Soderlund said, maybe people want to fight him now because they never wanted him to fight him before. Trust me, they never wanted to fight him. Filip Hrgovic is now the challenger, the mandatory challenge for Alexander Usyk. When that IBF Wheel of Fortune comes back around, which is probably in 2 fights' time, he'll have one more fight and then wait for a shot at the heavyweight title, and he'll be much better the next time." End quote. So I agree with him. I actually agree with Eddie Hearn. I don't agree with Eddie Hearn on everything, but sometimes he makes sense, and I do think he makes sense, because that's what I was saying when Hrgovic fought after the Zhang fight and he got the decision. I immediately told anybody I was around that pretty much this is going to be the greatest thing to happen to Hrgovic's career, because he was having a hard time at first getting fights because you don't make a lot of money fighting him. That's number one. He was knocking like almost everybody he fought out, even though they weren't, most of the guys he was fighting weren't like the creme of the creme top fighters. And he has that deep image pedigree, so on paper he just looks like a scary heavyweight. And for the first time, you know, he fought a guy in Zhang who was a live body, and he didn't look so intimidating. He didn't look so hot in there against Zhang Zhilei. So now a lot of guys, and you've been seeing it in boxing. Bob Arum has been talking about Jed Anderson fighting him. You've been hearing a lot of people call his name and say that he's not this, he's not that. A lot of boxing fans have turned on him, and they said, well, Filip Hrgovic isn't that good. This guy beats some, that guy beats some, this, that, and the third. So I think he's in a great position. I think he got the experience he needed against Zhang Zhilei, because truth be told, fighting a guy who's like 6'7", 250 plus pounds or whatever, how much he weighs, who's a southpaw, power punching heavyweight, that's not a easy night at the office for anybody in the heavyweight division, especially when you factor in Zhang is a very experienced amateur in his own right. You see what I'm saying? So with that being said, you know, Usyk is gonna be trying to unify the division. He's looking at Tyson Fury, so I'm thinking like probably 15 to 18 months from this video is probably when Hrgovic will get his shot for the IBF. He'll have a intermediate fight in between. He has to make sure he takes care of business and wins that one. So it'll be a chance to get more time in the gym with Ronnie Shields, correct on some mistakes. Also to, more importantly, you know, like develop a more consistent jab. I mean, he has a good jab. It's just that when he's in the ring, he loves throwing the straight right hand. He's a straight right. He's in his career so far been a mostly straight right hand dominant fighter, and sometimes he loves that straight right hand so much that his attack can become predictable. So I think the key here for him and Ronnie Shields is to become a more balanced fighter so far as your punch selection is concerned. be more consistent with the jab, work on disguising the right hand, things like that. And I'm sure that'll make him a much more dangerous fighter. But listen, the tools are there, the heart is there, the dedication is there, the amateur pedigree is there, the power is there. Hrgovic has all the tools to be the heavyweight champion of the world. It's just a matter of now you develop, you go to work, and you get ready for what's inevitable, because it is inevitable. He will at some point get his shot. He will at some point fight for the heavyweight title, championship of the world. He's the mandatory for probably the strictest and the best governing body in boxing when it comes to actually enforcing mandatories, and that is the IBF. So yeah, I agree. I actually agree with Eddie Hearn. We all know, anybody who's followed his career knows that Hrgovic didn't get his reputation from, like, because he had a big country behind him or anything like that. He got his reputation just strictly in the gym, beating up dudes and sparring, whether it be David Haye, Deontay Wilder, you know, the World Series of Boxing, the Olympics, all that stuff. So he is a top heavyweight as far as like the guys who don't have belts, and he's gonna get his chance. And it's just about being as sharp as humanly possible when that chance inevitably comes around. So yeah, that's the news. Eddie Hearn pretty much parroting what I said, that maybe now fighters will want to fight El Animo, Croatia's very own Filip Hrgovic, and I believe that to be true my damn self. So let me know what you guys think in the comments down below about what Eddie Hearn had to say. You know, take the time to subscribe, and like I say in every single one of these videos, you can love me or you can hate me, but I'm just a kid from Daniel. So until next time, take care, guys.
Just like Mayweather's uncles would say, a lot of people don't know shit about boxing. You know, you do. You've done it.
Thank you.
You about the only smart guy that I know, bro. Nobody knows shit about boxing.
I appreciate it, man.
I want to say, man, make sure to follow True School Sports, always covering boxing at the highest level, man, and make sure to subscribe to his YouTube channel. Follow him on Instagram at Just a Kid from Danny as well.
He the plug.